बच्चों, my students, for today's video, I've been given an idea by one of my students who has asked me about what is the strategical firepower and dependency of Indian Army, Air Force and Navy regarding the area or the geographical location which we are having. As we all know that India is surrounded by three sides of ocean. One is Bay of Bengal, another one is in south, that is Indian Ocean. Sorry, and then the western part is of Arabian Sea. You know that we have certain two types of neighbors like Pakistan and China, which always take a advantage. Not in recent time, but in the past, they have taken many advantages in capturing the major areas of India and trying to just destabilize the geographical location or change the geographical part of India. Whereas we must be thankful to our armed forces that they actually took a lot of initiative to protect each and every inch of the position which we are having right now, and I do admire. Recently there is a global firepower index which has been came up, in which India has been ranked as the fourth largest and the strongest army, air force and navy in terms of firepower. Now what is firepower? Let us understand. The topmost ranking is no doubt it's US, United States of America, and it's one of the most powerful country. It's a world power. Second number comes of Russia. People are now criticizing that why Russia has been given as the second position, whereas it has not conquered the Ukraine, a very small country, despite of being a very large world power, second world power. The reason behind is that Russia is fighting alone against a proxy war which is generated by the 31 NATO countries which are supporting Ukraine. We must understand this particular concept. If Ukraine is not given with any armed supplies and any kind of ammunitions, Ukraine would not stand and is not capable of standing in front of Russia for more than 7 days. Max to max 7 days I'm taking. Okay. So this is not a war. The basic thing, this is a wrong definition. This is not a war. This is a military strategical demilitarization of Ukraine by Russia. Remember the word demilitarization. That means we are trying to demilitarize Ukraine. That means Russia is trying, I'm not trying. That means Russia is trying to demilitarize Ukraine to capture the part and not let Ukraine to enter into the NATO. NATO has certain points in which it has been simply said that if the country is in a war situation, the country cannot join the NATO organization. Mr. Zelensky is not understanding this particular concept. Many times, India has also taken initiative to tell them that war is not the solution. India is the only country in the world which is neutral, which is not supporting war, neither in the favor of Russia, neither in the favor of Ukraine. This is the geopolitical advancement and the strategical and diplomacy what India is doing right now. Now let us understand our Indian armed forces. We all know that President is the supreme commander of all the three forces, Army, Air Force and Navy. In the past time, like 50 years, I would say, in the history 50-60 years, we have not taken any initiative to give us a clean chit regarding self-independency in development of weapons. We have been always relied to other countries like US, Russia, Israel or any other country, any other European countries for buying and purchasing like helicopters, fighter aircrafts, guns and everything. No doubt, we are having our own ordnance factories. But in the past, ordnance factories were not capable of producing quality products for our army. So we were the biggest importers. Remember, importers. I'm talking about importers. We used to spend a lot of dollars in purchasing all those amenities and all those ammunitions and latest arms from other countries. Since 9.5 years, the scenario has been changed. Now, the private organizations have entered into the market of making military materials. Now India is getting stronger in the position of having different inclinaments. Now India is also establishing a theatre command, that is a war theatre command in northern sector Likewise in Ladakh and in China sector, like in Arunachal Pradesh, Imphal, then Assam and everywhere. And also we don't have any danger in southern sector. We have danger in western sector and eastern sector. Eastern sector, we have an China, which we have in the war in 1961 and 62, in which due to lack of weapons and lack of amenities, we were not able to fight back. We were not able to get the solid culture which we are known for that. So Aksai Chin was under their influence. They won the Aksai Chin area. We are still fighting for that Aksai Chin. In western part, if I say, that is line of control. In China, there is a line of actual control, and in Pakistan, near Pakistan and India border, there is a line of control, LOC. Pakistan has captured after independence some parts of Kashmir, which is known as Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Now what we are doing, we are actually constructing northern, eastern and western theatre commands to counter any offensive attempts from these countries. We are not in the favor of war, but we are also not putting our hands across and sitting quietly if we are being stretched or we are being pulled up like an accessory in a war. We are into a situation that we can counter anyone. Right now, US has given an offer to India to join NATO Plus to counter China. India simply said, we don't want to join any of the military organization. We are much more capable in handling China by our own, because this is not 1961 or 1962 India. This is 2023. Far much relied, far much independent, and world's fifth largest economy. So we know how to fight it. Now everywhere we see in the past 50 years that Army and Air Force has been given the maximum weapons. Many weapons have been purchased for them only. We haven't gone the needs of Navy, whereas Navy is very essential, because Navy, that means oceans we cannot put some howitzer or cannot land any of the tanks on the water. We need huge ships, aircraft carriers. Right now India is having 2 aircraft carriers, one is Vikrant, another one is Vikramaditya. Now we are also in a process for the 3rd aircraft carrier, because we need 3 sides. Like in southern side, we need 1 aircraft carrier. In the western sector, we need a 1 aircraft carrier, and in the eastern sector, we need a 1 aircraft carrier. Also 1 or more aircraft carrier in case of any kind of repair work or maintenance work come across in all these 3 areas. So there should be a supplement. So we are lacking in 2 aircraft carriers. Aircraft carrier itself is like a fort, a fighting fort. One cannot drown an aircraft carrier very easily, because it has the potential to save itself. All kinds of weapons are always there. So these are the 3 theatre commands which we are working right now. That is northeastern sector, that is now a little bit of western sector, then southern western, and then east western, southern western. So this is the way how we are trying to convert this theatre command. And in the coming 20 years, we are much more capable now getting transformed from an importer to an exporter, because Indian manufacturing companies and units are now considering on providing the quality materials. Now come one basic question. People say that People usually say that China is much more powerful than India, and India is not having the capability of facing China in various other prospects. It is very true that India is having a little bit less weapons as compared to China, but weapons are not the only source. Apart from that, you need some kind of specialization. Your army, air force should have experience regarding wars. Like we are having 1961 wars, we are having 3 war experience with Pakistan, we are having experience of Kargil, we are having experience of various surgical strikes. So these are the things which actually tell you. And look, China is not actually disturbed. Jammu and Kashmir is a little bit disturbed in India. So if Jammu and Kashmir is disturbed, and our army, air force and navy are working continuously, not navy actually, army and air force is continuously working on keeping peace and regulations in Jammu and Kashmir, that means our army and air force is much more capable in handling the war-like situations. That's why in global firepower, we stand on the 4th position, and with God's grace, in coming future, we will definitely soar high. The only thing is that we need to be self-sufficient. We need not to purchase anything from outside. We need to make everything from inside. Right now, UP and some parts of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand are having some kind of constructions regarding the, what we say, like ordinance complex, which are being coming up. So this will help many people to get employment, as well as India will be able to produce much more weapons, much more ammunitions for army, air force and navy, and can supply also to other countries. Next point is that recently our prime minister has visited to France and has signed a pact of 26 Rafales, which are of navy version. Now, why we need 26 Rafales? Let us understand. I've just spoken and given you a knowledge about aircraft carriers. In aircraft carriers, you need the fighter planes. Right now, we are having 2 aircraft carriers. In coming future, we will be going for 4. That means, apart from Vikramaditya and Vikrant, we will be having 3 and 4 more. I already told you that 3 should be in the 3 locations and 1 should be always into the reserve, so that if one of the aircraft comes for any kind of maintenance, it can replace that particular position. Now, every time you need to fill your aircraft with arms and ammunitions, also with aircrafts. On the terms, if we say, Navy is the source, because Navy actually is very important strategical command of your force. Why? The earth is surrounded by 70% of water. That means you are having less land and much more ocean. Oceans are also divided into various oceans like Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, peninsulas, then Baltic Sea, then everywhere. I must not say too much because I don't have that particular idea regarding those things, because I am expert with geopolitical, not with the geographical. Okay, so you need a very composed structure of navy, so that your navy can guard all the territorial locations which are surrounded by waters. So I expect in coming future we will be much more ahead rather than being on 4th position for the global firepower index. For this, up till now, this is for you and everyone who is been studying for history and civics and geography and economics. This is a very vital information which you can feed in your own mind and can also think about the coming future, how you are going to proceed and study various current affairs. With this thought, happy Sunday. Bye bye.